Today, I'm going to be unboxing you the massive collection of Ork action figures that Joytoy has sent me. I'm Angela, you're watching Hobby Night. Let's get to it. That's right, today I'm going to be unboxing the complete Ork collection from Joytoy because they were generous enough to send it to me, which absolutely blew my mind, but they heard me in my last video when I talked about how I wanted some orcs to fight my Kriegsguardmen, and they were like, hey, what if we sent you those orcs? And I was like, yes, do it, and I'll unbox them, and we're going to do just that today. I am super hyped for this. Figure photography is something I've been really wanting to get into, but I haven't had a good opportunity to shop around, grab some more figures to really make it so that I can do some cool scenes with my guardsmen. But now, thanks to Joytoy, I'm gonna have that opportunity. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open these Ork Kommandos and NOB on Smasha Squig. I am so excited, let's go! All right, let's go ahead and begin with the first of our Ork Kommandos, Snarit, which I really like the name that they gave him. He is a 1/18th scale figure, very similar to the Kriegsguardmen that I have previously, and actually one of the reasons that I was sent the orcs is because I wanted something for my guardsmen to fight, and I figured orcs would be a great opportunity for them to murder. All right, but we want to look at these figures. I'm going to compare them. On the side, we have a little bit of the product information. On this side, we just have the name of the character as well as some logos. And on the top and bottom, we also have the nice Warhammer 40k logo. On the back, we get to take a look at a little bit more of the detail of what we're actually getting in the box, some of the accessories that he's coming with, and how we might be able to pose them. And I imagine all of the boxes are pretty much going to be identical to this, so going forward, we're probably just going to look at the front and the back. But let's actually go ahead and take this model out, be gentle with the box, because I actually do still need to use that. Oh my god, he is glorious. Okay, let's take the plastic off so we can actually get a better look at him, but immediately I am loving the green skin tone. I also really adore the helmet. So let's take a look at the model itself. Because I do have the Kriegsguardmen, I have some comparison that I can make to those models to these, and I'm really excited to see that immediately he feels just as mobile as the guardsman models were. I also love that like the accessories come off, so you know if you don't want him to have this rope on his belt, I believe, does this one? Oh, see, like this one does too, so if you don't want him to have this little pouch, or if he's fighting and you're doing figure photography or something and he's lost some of his equipment, used them up or something during a scene, you cannot have him on it later, and it totally makes sense and they can just clip back on. I wonder actually if the backpack, it does look like it comes off, but I'm a little scared to pull it. There we go. Okay, so yeah, even the backpack comes off, which is really cool. And I bet, yes, even this dynamite is detachable. I love how many different little accessories there are. Of course, if you take the backpack off, then he's got this big hole in his back, but you probably can avoid that, and especially if you're just putting them up for display or even just doing figure photography. As long as you're not shooting from the back, you can, you know, hide that. So let's also take a look at some of his accessories, because he's got a couple different weapons. So we've got this one here. We have his choppa. I really like the look of. I love the slight angle and bend, and then the accents of the red in there, which is really, really nice. And then, of course, the shooter with the big crossbones on it, which just honestly looks fantastic. On the back side here, we've got the just like, you know, it's a little bit more plain, but this is the front side. Ah, it's just so good. And of course, he can hold these weapons. Let's go ahead and put one in before we move on to our next figure. Oh, let's see. Interestingly, actually, one thing that I will note that I do know the all the guardsmen came with was additional hands, and he does not seem to come with any additional hands. Also, to rotate, there we go. I needed to rotate his wrists so that I could actually slide this in better. Oh, maybe. Watch as I struggle. All right, well, I'll need to figure that out because I'm not quite angling it correctly, but I know he can hold this. I'll figure it out off camera afterwards when we get them actually posed together, but let's take a look at the next model. Next up, we have the Ork Kommandos Daka boy Rotbilge, which I actually think he might be one of my favorites because he has a beanie, and that really, really charms me. I always love any orcs that are wearing beanies. It is my absolute favorite. So if we take a look at the back just before we get this box opened up, we can see some of his accessories. Again, his backpack will detach like the other guy. We've got a big choppa sword, and then not sure what that is, but we'll take a closer look at it once we've got the model open, which we're going to do right now, moving right forward. Got him pulled out, flip him over. There he is. He's beautiful. I will admit, I really love the flesh tone of these orcs. Like, they did a really good job of layering the different greens and also having a little bit of fleshy red in there, especially around the mouth, which I really, really enjoy. And I have to say as well, I was a little concerned about the orcs and getting them in regards to, like, sometimes the face sculpts in some of the pictures didn't always look as crisp and, like, weathered in the way that I was wanting as the Kriegsguardmen did. But I'm really happy to say that in person, I absolutely love their faces. Like, they have just the level of detail that I want. I almost want to take some weather powders to them and maybe dust them up a little bit more. But overall, I'm very, very pleased, and I'm enjoying all of his accessories. I love the backpack. These pops of red amongst all the green and then the darker color tones is a really pleasant element to it. And again, they're very, very mobile. Like, this guy's legs move, his ankles move. They're very jointed, which is fantastic to see. Really nice rotation. Even the head will turn and, like, move, which is great. Oh, I love the texture on this beanie. Like, it feels really nice. Okay, let's look at the accessories though, because he has a big old gun. Look at that. It's just, I love this coppery detail for the bullets and their casings. That looks so good. And also, I really appreciate the amount of weathering that Joytoy puts into these models. Like, they take a really nice amount of effort to put in details, especially on the metallics, because they do a lot of mecha and, like, anime giant robot type stuff as well. That's all very military-esque. I think they really have nailed producing quality looking toys that have that weathered military sci-fi grunge that you might be looking for. It gets that grim dark feel across, you know? And I absolutely love that. Again, the backpack does come off, which is always really nice to see, and he can hold his guns. We have one more thing to look at. We also have his giant sword. And again, like, look at the varying, like, layers of different metallics here that just really bring out some nice colors, really just add this extra level to these figures over some of the other ones that I've collected in the past. And I have a huge variety of different figures. Like, I collect the Star Wars Black series. I have some of the Marvel series, like the Marvel Legends series. I have that, like, Gargoyles line. There's a whole bunch of them. And I have to say, these are just really, really high quality figures. And I cannot wait to actually pose them with my guardsmen, because it's just going to end up making them look, it's just going to look so cool. And I can tell so many stories because they've got so many accessories and everything, because the guardsmen came with a bunch too. Let's go ahead and move on to our next figure. Moving right along to our Ork Commando Sniper Boy Balrukk. I think this guy's teeth are fantastic. I also enjoy how just humongous his sniper actually is. It's fantastic. Let's go ahead and take a look at the details. Again, these guys don't come with quite as many accessories as, say, the guardsmen did, but their accessories are significantly larger and have, frankly, a lot more detail to them, which I am very much enjoying. So let's go ahead and pop this boy open and take a look at him in all of his glory. Just like everybody else, he's got that fantastic green flesh tone. I love that he's got the bomb. Oh, I love the earring. Like, that earring is fantastic. Ooh, I love the shine of the bullet casings on, like, his backpack. That's a nice little touch. Like, the detail on these models with the accessories, with the way that they've applied some dry brushing and some, you know, washes and everything to sort of up those colors and add a little bit more oomph to everything that they're doing. I really appreciate it. I can't express that enough. I really, really do. And again, oh, yes. Oh, I like that that can come off, the little arm piece here. That's really cool. And it just squeezes up onto his big old bicep. Yeah. I wonder if does this? No. Okay, so this one doesn't pop off. So some of the pieces pop off and other pieces don't. I do like that you can swap up what accessories they're carrying with them. But let's look at his big gun, because we're here for the big guns. That is really nice. It honestly makes me feel like I'm holding like a knight's, you know, weapon in my hands, because it's just like that scale, because it's huge. But I really, really enjoy it. I love the riveting details. Like, those stand out so beautifully against a lot of these other colors. And one of the things I do enjoy, and I've talked about this a little bit already, is just the variety of color tones that they're actually using on the orcs, which is especially appropriate considering they're, you know, scrapping stuff together and kind of hodgepodging things like collectively together and everything like that, which is really cool to see. And then of course we also have his bomb stick, which I love. It has a slight bend to it because of course nothing that they have is actually straight. They're just really rough with all of their tools and all their weapons. So they're just doing, you know, banging them on things and they get bent and torqued and tweaked a little bit. And I really enjoy that element. This guy's so cool. Wah! Let's look at the next guy. Next up, we've got the Ork Kommandos comms boy, Wagzuk, which I think probably is the best name out of all of the orcs thus far. He obviously is a comms boy. He's got some comms information, and we can see some of those accessories back here. I love the little antenna, love his gun. Let's take a look closer at all of these pieces, because I think I'm going to enjoy them just as much as I've enjoyed pretty much everything else that we've opened so far. Oh, okay. I really do like the face piece, like his mask on this guy. And one of the things that I've not talked about yet that I've also just heavily loved about these figures is how freaking squat their legs are, because they're super short. Like, I mean, I guess technically they kind of feel proportional, but because their arms are in fact kind of long and hang down and they have very small like shins, I feel like they are those classic orc minis from, you know, the 90s or even earlier than that. And I appreciate that element. Like, I love that sort of campiness to these orcs while still being relatively very serious and grimdark with them. Dude, his mask is fantastic. I also love how much his eyes pop, because you just see a little bit of the green and then a little bit of that red and they just glow at you, which is really, really cool. Does this piece come off? No, this piece does not come off. It's very cool though. I kind of wish I could put it on some of the other boys, but that is okay. Ooh, I like the detail of the skull on this side. I don't think some of them have had that. That's the nice little orky touch, which I very much appreciate. This guy also has ropes, so 2 of them do, and I enjoy that because, again, I like having the accessories, both for being able to decorate some of the scenery that I have, as well as just using it in the figure photography as part of, like, the narrative. I think that's really fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at his weapon, because it's got a really cool long cord. Look at that! Oh, I love it. That's really cool. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. I really enjoy this. I love the just lightning bolt on there to signify that it's got the zappy, you know, like that it will zap you. Oh, so good. It's electric powered. And I love that this has the matching piece. Now, where does this attach? Because it's got a little like piece there, like it's supposed to attach somewhere. So I'm kind of wanting to look and see where he actually can hold this. All right, I'm gonna have to figure that out, because their hands are kind of tight, and I know I can take them out, but I don't want to take him apart or anything. But I do love this accessory. That is super rad. Let's look at the next one. Let's keep trucking forward with the Burna Boy Ragrob. Also another great name. Now, I'm not quite sure why this guy comes in a slightly larger box. I guess his accessories maybe just require the box to be larger, because he's supposed to be the same as these guys, which, by the way, I have finally gotten one of the guns into their hands. They're just very stiff. Like, they're a lot tighter than I remember the Kriegsguardsman's hands being, and I don't know if that's just because they're larger, and so it's a little bit harder to maneuver the plastic, because it is a firm plastic, but it just takes a little bit of finagling. I actually popped the hand off, because you can actually separate them, bam, really easily, and then put them back on. So I took the hand off and got it on there, and then the other piece just attached to the backpack. Let's keep moving forward with our figures, though, now that we've figured that out. With this guy, oh, we haven't looked at the back. So we can take a look. He's got some cool accessories. Again, he's got another rope. Looks like a couple other things. And then he's just got the Burna weapon, which is just really, really badass looking. I love the look of the backpack. So without further ado, we're going to pull him out and take a look at how cool he is. Because he's actually quite cool. Oh, so this guy and then the other guy with the mask is the two that we've been able to see the most. Ooh, I popped his hand right off. Well, let me fix that. Bam. I got it back on there. There we go. He looks really cool. I love the glove. Oh, look at the little thumbs up. He's like, yeah. Just like Orange Cassidy. Giving you a nice chill thumbs up. This is now officially a Jean glove. No one can tell me otherwise because he's just vibing with Orange Cassidy, which is why he's got an orange. It's kind of a yellow, but we're going to pretend it's an orange flame. This is probably the coolest backpack accessory. Ooh, this is one of those softer rubbery plastics a little bit, and I love that it's actually corded like a true cable. So it feels correct, and that is super awesome. Let's see if we can get him. Let's actually see if we can do this. We're gonna get squeaky, a little bit squeaky. Like I said, the plastic is kind of tight, so we want this to wrap around this. Whoop! I popped his hand off again. Probably because that joint is really, really into the rest of the flesh. Let me fix that. There we go. All right, I think we want it actually going this way. This looks like the hand he's pulling the trigger with. So, you know what? We're actually going to do this smartly, people. We're going to take this hand off that wants to keep falling off anyways. And we're going to shove it right there so that he is ready. Burn, baby, burn! Yes. I'm a little too into his flamer, is really what I'm learning. Alright, so I think I've attached to the hand. Let's gently and squeakily attach the backpack. Look how... Oh, I popped his hand off again. I need to see if I can press that on more firmly. I think I'm just, like, not actually getting it fully pressed on. But, regardless... That looks really cool. Oh, I just have to point out, look at his boots. Like, look how cool those boots are. They look amazing. They've got a little spike on them, and I just stabbed myself, which is really what made me notice them. Also, I love the little, like, leather, like, apron hanging down to give him some protection from all that hot fire. All right, I love this guy, but we've got two more to take a look at, so let's get to them next. Moving right along, we have come to NOB Nazbog. I think this guy is pretty brilliant. Now, this is somebody who should be in a larger box. He's a NOB. It makes sense. Let's see what accessories we're getting with him. He's got mainly just a giant backpack with a lot of cables on it, and that's something I'm really enjoying about these particular figures. All the ones with cables that connect to their gun. I really love the way that Joytoy handles that. I just think it really adds something to these figures. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy, and we'll see him in all of his true glory. Oh, all right, we got, let's flip him over. Immediately, he's looking fantastic. Now, he is, let's see, we're going to compare him to one of the other boys and see if he is, in fact, larger. I will say that he definitely has a bit more detail to his face. I'll just scoot that over there. I know we've still got some accessories to take a look at. We'll take a look at those in just a second. But I really love the amount of detail on this guy's face. Like, they did some nice work on his lips there. Love the, like, grrr of the teeth that we're seeing. The cap is great. He reminds me of the Ork Commando that I painted from the Kill Team set. In fact, this might literally be the Ork that I painted from the Kill Team set, actually, now that I think about it, because I think he did actually have a claw. Maybe that was a different orc. I don't know. I've painted a lot of orcs at this point, you guys. I'm not really sure. But I love this. Like, this is probably one of my favorite elements. I also really appreciate this little pop of blue. So far on these figures, we've mostly seen black, gray, a couple different metallic color tones, green, and then red. This guy actually has a lot more yellow, has a little bit of blue. You can tell he's fancy on the knob because he's got some other colors in there, and I really appreciate that subtlety to add a bit more variety and detail to this character without actually having to go overboard with the model, which really makes him still feel very in world and very cool. His claw looks absolutely stunning, by the way. Absolutely stunning. All right, let's take a look at some of his other accessories as well, because we do have just a standard Shuda. It looks really cool. I do like that his has symbols on both sides. So we've got the double axes over here, and then just a standard skull there. The nice little wrap is lovely detail. And then this is... Where does this attach to? Does this go on his backpack? Yes, I see. So this is an antenna, it looks like, for his backpack so that he can, I guess, relay information to the team. I'm not really sure. You think the comms guy might want that. That seems more reasonable for him to have, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. If I had one complaint, if I had to critique these and actually call something out that I wish maybe a little bit more attention to detail had been taken to, the stitching in his arm right there. I wish they had been colored a little bit more to look like rope, or like maybe even just painted black or something so that they stood out a bit more, because right now they're just blending into his flesh tone, and it's fine. But like, that's my like minor critique. But overall, he also has nipples, and I approve of the fact that he has nipples. I don't know if the other boys have nipples. Check real quick. Oh, he is? Oh, good, good. He is in fact taller. He is in fact taller than the standard, one of the standard orcs, which means that he is appropriately scaled and he can in fact be called a knob because he is bigger. He also has the pointiest ears of anybody, the most detailed of ears as well, and I really enjoy that. Oh, he's great, but we have an even larger orc model to take a look at as our final figure. Last but not least is probably the thing that Joytoy sent me that I'm the most excited for, and his box is so big it doesn't even fully fit on screen because he's humongous. This is the Squighog knob on Smasha Squig. Unfortunately, they didn't give him a fun, clever little name like they did the rest of the Ork Kommandos, but maybe that's because he's not technically an Ork Commando. He's part of the Orks line, and I guess they might technically be separate. Now, this particular orc figure is not actually out yet, and I want to give a huge thank you to Joytoy for sending this to me early so that I can unbox it for you here along with the rest of the orcs that I have received. Now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this model. I am super hyped for this because I've actually painted this particular figure on the channel, and probably at the end when we're doing our little outro and wrapping up, I might actually pull that out and just do a little comparison into what I did. I painted the Squig completely different, but it'd be really fun, I think, to still just compare them and just see the scale at minimum in difference. So he comes with a lot of accessories. He actually also comes with a cool stand so we can prop him up, and we'll see if we can get that on camera, and if not, we'll at least show it in the turnaround displays of it. I'm loving just what the details look, but you know, let's not just look at the box. That's not what we're here for. We want to actually see the figure. We want to see how giant and honking this boy is. So let me pull him out. Oh my god, he's huge! Look at that squig! It's... Okay, let me flip it around. Hold on. Oh my god. Woo! I love how big he is! Yes, okay. Let's stop gushing about him in the plastic and actually pull him out and play with him. Oh, this one's actually taped. One moment. I need to untape it. Probably on this side too. There we go. Some nice ASMR of plastic and tape and crunching. All right, we've got him open. Let's look at them. Let's look at our boy first. We're gonna slide our giant squig over, and we'll take a look at him in just a second. Don't worry, don't worry. But I want to take in the beauty that is this Beast Snaga model, because that is what I run for my particular orc faction. I've not played with them yet. I've been slowly building them, but Beast Snaga is the the clan that I decided to go with. So to see them represented and even having the similar colors that I use on this model is really, really cool to see. And I absolutely love it. Again, I love how squat their legs are. Can we talk about the detail on this hand? Like, that is so cool. I love the robot. I can't wait to see some of like the Mechanicus, if they do that, or the Grey Knights that they're coming out with, because like just seeing this metallic detail work gets me really excited for that. I love also though like the leather details, because like this is really cool. I love the like circular patterns cut out of that. The bones, I wish they were a little bit like more bone colored, but I totally understand that that's probably a little harder to do to get that sort of off white, and it's easier just to make everything pure white. And Beast Nagas I actually do think use a fair amount of pure white in like the canonical like standard like main grouping of them that they have. So you know what, I'll forgive it. It's totally fine. Oh, I didn't realize that this actually had a clawed hand portion coming off of the back piece. That is really, really cool. It is giant on him. I think I need to slide it like over a little bit or something. Is it attached to his... Oh, it's actually pinned to his chest there. That's kind of clever. That helps keep it in place. I like that. Okay, we've gushed about the orc himself, and he is fantastic. That looks painful, having that like cable go into your arm, or into your back. But he's probably used to it. It's fine. Let's take a look at the big giant squig. Oh my god, he's huge. Oh, okay. Where are all of his joints? Because I want him to. I see that there's a joint there. Ah, it needs to bend this way. Oh, God. Yes. Oh, look at him. Let's get his other leg situated. Stiff joint. All right, we've got that. Are you stable? He stands by himself. Yes. Oh. Okay. I love the attention to detail on them. They did some nice, shading here and everything. I love the imprinted little like he was branded there, which is really cool. I love the face. He's so good. I love this, like that top detail there. Fantastic. Absolutely adore it. That also looks very painful because it's definitely like just in his flesh. I love that kind of moves. Honestly, probably makes it a lot easier to attach the rider, which we should absolutely see if we can do. All right, let's, ooh, oh, I separated him. All right. Get him on there. Yes. Yes. Whoa, pull. Fucking squig. That probably looks very odd to you. You guys can't see it super well, and if I lean him over, he's gonna fall, so I have to brace him. But I love it. Okay, well obviously I'm gonna have turnarounds at this. Okay, we've looked at the squig, which is fantastic. There's lots of great detail work to him. He's just glorious and giant and heavy, which is great. Like, he's solid. He's a solid piece of probably resin, or whatever material they're using to make him. I love this. This completely matches the vibe that we're already getting with these models, and I honestly, again, the attention to detail on the weapons continues to be just absolutely fantastic. Like, I adore them. We do have a variety of other weapons, though. He also has a gun, which is very, very cool to see. I like that a lot. Very simple, compared to some of the other maybe guns we've seen, but he's also got a giant squig and a lot of other details. But the thing that I love the most is his back piece, which is the, Snakebites sigil, or I guess with this I think is actually the Snakebite specifically. It's not necessarily for the Beast Nagas, or maybe it is the Beast Naga symbol. I can't remember. It's either Snakebite or Beast Naga, whichever one. It doesn't matter because I'm using the Snakebite colors, but I'm running Beast Naga orcs. So they both work for me, and that is one of the reasons why I was super pleased to have this sent to me. I'm going to go ahead and get all these toys assembled so we can talk about them, get them staged up with some of my Kriegsguardsmen as well, and you can definitely be expecting me to be posting a lot more in regards to figure photography on all of my socials going forward, now that I have two armies that actually can wage war. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Just kidding. We have one final thing that we need to show off real quickly before we actually call this. And I just wanted to show the stand that the Squig rider comes with, because it's this nice movable stand. It's clear, so it doesn't take up as much like visual space when you're doing figure photography. And it looks like we've got a piece that allows us to sort of mount him in place. And then this just goes here. Oop, maybe I put that in the other way. Oh, it definitely goes this way. It's not stable. I just didn't get it onto its hex shape. There we go. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze like all of the figures here today. But this way we can end up displaying him. Although I will admit, he stands up very, very well by himself. Not really sure if this is going to be 100% necessary, but I have a lot of figures. I might be able to use it for something else. Now, let's go ahead and call it a video and talk about the overall feelings on these orcs. All right, we've now unboxed the orcs, so let's go ahead and talk about what I like. And there are some things that I don't like about them, but it's very minor and I'm probably mostly going to be gushing about them. First and foremost, I love the scale of these models. I have my Krieg's Guardsmen, which I had already owned, and I'm comparing them to the orcs. And I absolutely love how they are actually appropriately scaled to each other. The Krieg's Guardsman is way smaller feeling than the orc, which is appropriate to Warhammer 40k. The orcs are supposed to be thick and chunky in comparison to the simple humans of the Imperium. So I love how small the Krieg's Guardsmen look next to the orcs. I want to also just compliment Joytoy once again, and I did this during the unboxing itself, but I really, really love the accessories that we got with the orcs. Now, I do think I got a lot more with the Krieg's Guardsmen, but I think the accessories here are a lot chunkier and they have a lot more detail on them, if I'm honest, which I'm really loving seeing. Now, there is one thing that I have in regards to a complaint about the accessories, and that is that most of these guys, it was a struggle to get these hands into these guns or around these guns. They were so tight because this is a really nice firm plastic. Actually squeezing the guns into some of their hands, especially when they were having a very tight grip, was kind of difficult, and I definitely scuffed up some of their hands in a way that I wouldn't normally be super thrilled by, but because it's hidden by the weapons themselves, I'm not super worried about it, but I just wanted to call it out as something to be aware of if you end up getting these models for yourself. Beyond that though, I am just so happy with these figures. One of the things that really excites me is the prospect of doing a lot of figure photography on my Instagram page as well as my YouTube community page and basically across all of my social medias. It's something that I've always been interested in and I now feel like I definitely can. And oh my gosh, I just had actually a brilliant idea. Because these models do have rules in Kill Team, both the Krieg's Guardsmen and the Ork Kommandos. In fact, I have both those sets in Kill Team miniature form already. I could actually run a kill team with these action figures. Oh my God, that sounds so cool. I'm even more hyped about these already. Thank you once again to Joytoy for sending me these orc action figures to unbox for you today. If these are something that you are interested in yourself, or maybe you just want to check out what Joytoy has because they have a variety of other Warhammer 40k factions you can choose from, as well as their own brand of mecha, as well as just other action figures to pick from. So I'd highly encourage you to check them out. I've left a link to their store down below. And once again, thank you to Joytoy for sending me these figures so that I can open them up for you today and have some really cool figure photography in the future. Before I head out, I do also want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for making it so content like this can continue to happen. Without your guys' support, we would not be doing this, so thank you very, very much. I have been Angela, and I hope you have a wonderful hobby night.